This video has been brought to you by NordVPN. Go to nordvpn.com/Domics and use the code Domics for 75% off a 3-year plan with a free extra month. I've been alive for over 28 years now, and despite having significant events in my life, I have some pretty random assortment of memories from my childhood. Take my 18th birthday, for example. It's supposed to represent the day I entered adulthood, but I actually don't remember what I did that day. It was a Saturday, so I wasn't at school, but I was in architecture, so I was definitely doing homework. I know I didn't hold a big party, so I probably just had a nice dinner with my family. Except I don't even remember where we ate. So I don't recall my adulthood gateway birthday from 10 years ago, but I do remember the last night I was in Philippines 20 years ago before immigrating to Canada. I guess you can debate that moving away would be a pretty significant event, but when I was 6, I didn't understand how far Canada was and how life-changing this move was actually gonna be. Anyway, I remember that night not because we had a long travel ahead of us, but because I was sleeping on the floor in the living room. I guess so once we wake up, it would be easier to quickly leave the house to go to the airport. I was a little restless and was tossing around and then turned towards the couch. And that's when a cockroach crawled out and then disappeared away from my peripherals. That's it. That's my last memory before moving. In grade 2, when we first moved to Canada, I made a friend who invited me to come over and play with his Transformer toys. I get to his house and we go to his room. And me already being a troll at that age, I go straight to his dresser and open one of the drawers. I find his underwear and pull one out and yell, "Ooh, underwear!" Like he's supposed to be embarrassed of it or something, like, haha, I wear these too, but I'm gonna make fun of you for it. Kids are such jerks. He laughs nervously and then we proceed to play with his toys. And that's how I remember Marcus. A chubby kid with cool toys that wore tighty-whities like me. In grade 4, I was out at recess playing a big game of Manhunt with a bunch of kids. Manhunt is basically just tag, but if you get caught, you join the hunter team and help tag the others until everyone is caught. I was hiding out between 2 portables, I think Americans call them trailers, which wasn't really a great spot because it was a dead end. If someone found me there, my exit would be blocked. And indeed, someone found me there and blocked my exit. There was maybe 3 to 4 meters between the portables, which gave me a tiny bit of room to try and juke my way past the hunter, except there was a loose nail sticking out of one of the portables, which caught my shirt as I was escaping and made a huge tear right under my armpit and also gave me a big cut. But I was more embarrassed than pained, so instead of going to a teacher for some help, I just fled and continued playing the game. 'Cause I go hard. I play to win. And even when recess was over, I continued to try and hide my battle wound for the rest of the day as if it was a sign of weakness, like, oh, I can't let them know I bleed.
Mr. Sandal, Dominic is bleeding.
Shut up! There was this one time in PE, or phys ed, or gym, or whatever you want to call it, and we were playing basketball. If you've ever met me in person and thought I'm really short, well, you're right to assume that I was the smallest kid in my class for the duration of my childhood. We were split up into teams and mine had some bloody good players who were black. At one point, we were on the opponent side, and my teammate Mark was in a position to either pass to me or to my other taller and more skilled teammate. He passed to me. I went for a 3. Cash money. And even though I scored, my teammates still complained like, "Hey man, why didn't you pass to me?" And Mark replied with, "What? Dom is a good shot." Which was a lie. I mean, I was decent, definitely not as good as the other guy, but I feel like Mark just said that to justify his choice. And even though I probably only scored like 1 more point for the rest of the game, I had such a huge boost of self-confidence after hearing Mark's encouraging words. In grade 5, I had a crush on this girl in my class, Stephanie, the same Stephanie from my crushes video. I think it was like the last day of class before summer break, and we were having a relaxed day. My teacher had a piano in the classroom and allowed the students to play on it. During that time, one of my favorite songs was All My Life by Casey and JoJo, and the intro to that song is literally the only thing I know how to play on the piano. And so I requested to play, sat down, and played the intro to the song in hopes to impress Stephanie. Afterwards, the other kids, including Stephanie, cheered me on because they thought it was dedicated to Bridget, another girl who openly had a crush on me. And I guess from my little performance, people thought those feelings were now mutual, which they weren't. But I didn't want to embarrass Bridget by trying to correct the crowd, so yeah, I just went with it. This last one was kind of a suppressed memory because I was so embarrassed when it happened. Also, TMI warning. Alright, so growing up, after pooping, I was taught to use what we Filipinos call a tabo, a small bucket with a handle that we fill up with water to wash our butts with. That's right, we believe toilet paper alone isn't enough. At a young age, I was too weak to carry the tabo on my own with one hand because obviously I needed the other to wash my anus. So usually when I was done delivering the package, I'd yell for my parents or older sister to help pour the water while I cleaned myself. One day we were at a family friend's house and the parents had to head out for a bit, leaving us, the kids, at the home. Destiny determined that I had to poop exactly in the time frame they were absent, so naturally I had to depend on my older sister to help me out once I was done dropping the mail. Except I had to go real bad and didn't get a chance to warn my sister ahead of time to keep an ear out for my call. And so I'm there, on the toilet, finished with the load. I left the door slightly ajar so I could be heard, and at first I called out to my sister at a medium volume, "Ate!" which in Tagalog means older sister or a respectful term for a girl who's slightly older than you. She didn't hear me, and so I kept calling out, increasingly getting louder until I was heard. And surely enough, I was. Except it wasn't my sister who came to greet me, it was the family friend. And when you're caught on the toilet, there's actually nothing you can do to minimize how defenseless you look. She laughed hard, and I just had to take it until she got a whiff of my aroma and then left the scene. Maximum embarrassment. And so from that day on, I matured into independence, never again having to rely on anyone to assist me in cleaning myself after a poop. Because now, I rely on technology. This is a bidet. Holy sh! One thing I do depend on a lot, and I'm sure you guys do as well, is the internet, especially for entertainment. A lot of you might be aware of the recent passing of Article 13 in the European Union, which, in summary, holds media hosting platforms liable for the content posted on their website, and therefore puts content creators at risk of being overly filtered or blocked in certain parts of the world. With NordVPN, you can protect yourself from these restrictions and browse the internet with peace of mind using my code Domics at nordvpn.com/Domics for 75% off a 3-year plan with an additional month for free. Virtual private networks are a great way to protect your privacy and security online, allowing you to browse the net anonymously with no data logging using military-grade encryption. And NordVPN has earned their spot to be the best with PC Mag's Editor's Choice Award. With thousands of servers in over 60 countries and a lightweight user-friendly software, NordVPN allows you to virtually be wherever you want to be in the world. Protect up to 6 devices at once, including desktops, laptops, and mobile devices. Give it a try and protect yourselves online, or if you're unsatisfied, get your money back before 30 days, guaranteed. Once again, that's nordvpn.com/Domics with the code Domics for 75% off a 3-year plan, plus 1 extra month for free. Enjoy!